Greetings, everybody. So a student just sent me this question. They're having trouble. I'm not sure if it was with solving this or with entering the answer, but let's go ahead and talk about both of them. It wouldn't hurt. So it says use the properties of logarithms to expand the logarithmic expression as much as possible, so on and so on. So it says natural log of the 14th root of x. Okay, now it said something about the properties of logarithms, and there are several different properties of logarithms, but one property, and the one that I think is applicable to this question, is the one that says a logarithm of any base of some number to a power is such that you can move that power out front and multiply in the logarithm. So it's like what we're saying is, that if there's a power right there, inside here, this thing has that power, then you can move it out front, and now it says the power times the logarithm. Okay, that's the one that would be applicable to this question. But in order to make that known, I think we have to talk about a few things. First of all, when we see ln of something, that is called the natural logarithm. Okay, and I say that because it doesn't look like log base b. It doesn't look like the rule, but it is a logarithm like any other with a base number of e, where e is this finely tuned number, I guess you could say. It's about 2.718. Scientists use it to calculate population growth and radioactive decay. In finance, it's used to calculate compound interest. It has lots of uses, but let's just say it's a number, and it's the base of the logarithm when you see an ln. So I say that to tell you that this rule applies to this, even if it looks a little bit different. So that's my first kind of caveat about this one. Second thing is that I told you the property that would apply to this problem is the one that deals with a logarithm of any base of some number raised to a power. And here you might say, well, I don't see a power. So for that, we have to make the connection between roots and fractional exponents. Like if I have some number x to some fractional power a over b, that could alternately be understood as the b root of x to the a power. Okay, so a fractional exponent translates into a root of some kind. All right, how does that apply to this? Well, here I see I've got the 14th root of x to the first power. Do you see I've got the same arrangement? I've got on the x, I've got a power, which in this case is 1 by default, and then I've got a root. So if that's the case, and if I wanted to see that there was an exponent involved in this, because that's what the property says, then it would be like this, where I'm just following this pattern up here. I'm just putting the numbers where they're supposed to go, if that's the rule. Okay, so that's my second thing. So I guess then here's what we're dealing with. If you want to simplify this, if you want to reduce this to something else, you would see it as natural log of x with a power with an exponent of 1 over 14. Okay, that 14th root translates into an exponent of 1 over 14. From here, it shouldn't be too bad, because I see that that rule says that I can take the power and I can move it here and I can apply it as a multiplier. So that 1 over 14 will be 1 over 14 times natural log of x. And that's as far as I can take it. I can't combine or cancel or reduce anything from there. Okay? So that's what's intended by that question, to understand that this property is in fact applicable to it. Now, this may or may not have been your trouble with this question. Let's talk about entering that in, because it's one thing to answer the problem. It is another issue to put the answer in MyMathLab. All right, so I need 1 over 14 natural log of x. I'm going to do like this. I'm going to do 1 over 14 times natural log of x. And I bet it would work with or without that parentheses, but we'll put it in like that. And then we'll check it and we'll see that it's right. Okay. Anyway, so that's how we handle that one, both on the input front in MyMathLab, and maybe more importantly, understanding the rules and maybe some review information that's involved with it along the way.